Name's Tom LaGrave. I am the author of Special Welfare, Social Warfare, Adolescence to Adulthood, a Guidebook. In here, I give all the information that I have accrued over the past 35 plus years working with young people. I have come to understand from my private practice, which is as a licensed clinical social worker, that young folks today are dealing with extreme stressors, which are depressions, anxieties, thoughts of doing harm to self and to others. And the question is why? And in the book, I share the various generations that have preceded this generation, special welfare, social warfare. I go back to the greatest generation and the silent generation, which was my parents and the World War II individuals that made up what was called the greatest generation. That moved down to my generation, which was boomer. And then we ran into Generation X or millennials, and then Y and Z. And at this stage right now, what is most important is the generations that are in their youth right now, which is Z and Y. So what I'm trying to share right now and what I did in the book was I gave examples of how it was for each generation as they transitions from adolescent to adulthood. What was it like in the 1940s and 50s when my parents did their transition, in the 60s and 70s when I and my brothers did our transition, to the group that I worked with when I first started working with youth at an adolescent recovery facility called Daytop Village. And at that point, they're now in their late 30s and early 40s. And of late, working with Generation Z, which is now in their teens, early 20s. And what is so different, and you can find it how I shared it in the book, is how we addressed going through that period that is so crucial in becoming the adult that we're all meant to be. And that right now is so much different today than it was just say from my generation, which was 1977, I graduated from high school. And so the 1980s, that is the period of time where I was transitioning and learning how to become adult. At that time, I was in the military. I was in the Navy. I was a hospital corpsman, and I was what is now a former Navy SEAL. Basic underwater demolition SEAL training is the 6-month period that you go through to become a Navy SEAL. I started August the 27th, 1979, graduating in February the 29th, leap year, 1980. So for me, I had a solid rite of passage that took me from being a foolish young person to a responsible young adult. And that is still there in the form of those who wish to go into the military. That transition is also a rite of passage, as are the boys, Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Those are what we have as far as our transitions from adolescent to adulthood, but it doesn't take up the number of people that we are now experiencing as they transition. These young people are in larger numbers that have yet to experience that transitional period where they're guided not by being told what it is to be an adult, but what it is by an adult showing you, walking at your side, and teaching you what it is to be an adult, what it is to be a male or a female in today's society. And that's what's missing, is that critical piece of age wisdom, giving you the knowledge that you need to transition into adulthood, by sharing with you in the act, by being there with you as you progress through in the form of mentorships. These are what I suggested in the book as far as an answer to come up with so that we could have something that would address the issue that we are experiencing right now. I created a nonprofit. It's called Honorbound Academy. There's a website, thehonorboundacademy.org, all one word, thehonorboundacademy.org. And in it, I share this book. And the reason that I share it is that I spent the last 10 years of my life trying to get funded so that I could bring this program that I created based off of all the ancient schools of knowledge that were utilized in our history to do just that, transition our young people to adulthood. And with that, it was after 10 years not being able to get funded that I was not willing to not have this information be able to be given to society and to young people. So my idea was, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to share it. At the end of the book, I put in all the research that went into creating Honorbound Academy. It's there for perhaps one day when somebody else, some visionary in the future, sees it and where the problem still exists and they have the wherewithal to be able to fund it. I wanted it for you to see it for yourself, experience it here, seeing it, where I wish I could have brought it to you and put it out in the world. But because I couldn't, I'm not willing to have lost this ability to have you know that there is an educational platform that will serve you as you transition from your adolescence to adulthood. You're experiencing right now horrible depressions and anxieties, and it is because our society right now is coming to a crossroads. We have a newly elected president that's going to take office within the next 2 weeks, and America and its population is right now angry, fearful, resentful, and confused, unsure of where it's going to go. And this is if there's one thing that I've learned working with young people that you've taught and made it very clear to me is you don't want to hear what I have to say. It's not about what I have to say that can help you become an adult. It's what I do. It is my behavior. It is my actions. It is how I present myself to you and treat you as I would expect you to treat me. In that way, society right now is having a falling out. We're not talking with one another. We are not sharing with one another. We are turning away from our responsibility to our youth to be able to give them hope and meaning and purpose. And as long as we do not come together as a society, our young people are going to continue to experience the very difficult reality of anxiety, depression, suicide. And it's in the hands of you and I, the American public adult population. Now, I'm going to end this at this point right now. I'll carry on with other conversations, but I just wanted to make this point. There is, and I want you to know, somebody in the form of me that is willing to do whatever it is that I can do for this generation to make you believe that there is hope. It is my responsibility, and I've done that by sharing it, not in that one, sharing it in this book. I'm telling that story of what you gave to me at a time in need decades ago when I was in trouble. And because of what you did for me, the young people at that time, I have committed my life to giving back Now that I'm at the end of my days, I'm nearing retirement. And at this point, I can take all the knowledge that you young people taught me to be and not and experiences so that I can be fundamentally what you're looking for. And that is what I am seeking to do. I want to advocate for you. It is something that no matter how much I want it, to actually have you trust me is there's only one way that's going to occur, and that is with time. When I do therapy and I meet folks for the first time, I share with them. I say, look, I'm not asking you to trust me. What I'm asking for is the opportunity to earn your trust. And at this stance right now, as I begin my final days, as I enter into retirement, bringing all the gifts you gave me, I am looking to earn your trust in the days and weeks and months to come. As this year unfolds, I'm here. The book is here. The adult population, you're here. And it is within our ability to make our society balanced for our youth so that they see hope. And that's what it comes down to right now. I'm not going to stop sending out this message. For right now, I'll end it with telling you, to America's youth, thank you for all that you've done for me. And I am looking now to do that in return, offer you back what I was given to you. And that is the purpose and meaning that I will take from life, and giving to you the opportunity that you know that there is an adult that cares about you, that you matter to, and it is going to be said over and over again. So as I keep blah, 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 I'm going to leave it at that. And you'll hear me again with a different video. Thank you.